Just about a week ago, here on the channel, we had the finale from the Wawa Cup Series at the Darlington Raceway, and what an absolutely wild race that was. But here we are, here back in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, here for race number 3 on the season. It's going to be really interesting now as all these guys' focus turns to this series exclusively. And it's definitely going to be very interesting as we see the ratings start to come into play. But we are here from the Michigan International Speedway here in Brooklyn, Michigan for one of the longest races we have here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to race number 3 here on the 2025 Turkey Hill Truck Series season. Welcome to the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway. What's going on, everybody? Caleb here, and welcome to the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway. The 2.0 mile long oval here in Brooklyn, Michigan plays host to race number 3 on the season, and this ought to be a really interesting race. Like I mentioned, coming clean off the Wawa Cup Series finale just last week, and all these guys' focus turns here to the Truck Series, and especially as the ratings start to develop on as these races goes along, it's going to be very interesting to see how this race and future races will play out. Yeah, Michigan International Speedway definitely has played host to a lot of interesting races. This race last year was absolutely insane. Could potentially maybe see our first caution of the season here in this race if we see something similar to last year, but we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out here after 32 laps around the Michigan International Speedway. Joining alongside on the call for this one, we got Matt Tuck and we got Daniel Paulus Jr., a couple of Velocity guys up here in the booth, and I really thank you both for joining me here for this one. I'll start with you, Matt, of course, the owner of Celsius Team Velocity. You got Blaine Keys, you've got Rogel Dorn. They've both had solid starts to the season and looking to potentially claim another driver and owner championship here this time around. It will be really interesting to see what they can do here in this one. They've got decent starting positions, but you've seen a lot of races here at the Michigan International Speedway. You've seen how crazy this track can get and how interesting these races can be. So what are you expecting from your guys and everybody else here today from this race here at the Michigan International Speedway?
Well, I think it should definitely be a fun one. We got both the trucks in the top 20. Rogel's on the bottom, Lane's on the top, but that's not an end-all be-all here, and we know he's fast in these track types. Both the PDE guys starting on the bottom of the racetrack. Both of the Broke Boys garage trucks on the outside of the racetrack. And the guy who honestly in the hot seat, or on the hot seat in a good way this weekend, just announced he signed with Vision Motorsports, Bryce Egan. And he comes out here and is sitting on the pole. He's having a great week. So I think a lot of the guys are going to be very quick here today. And I think should be in for a good one.
Definitely, I think we will be in for a good one here from Michigan. And yeah, you all talking about some of the guys starting up here inside the top 10. Definitely some interesting developments going on in qualifying, as we just got 5 different teams up here in the top 10. So everybody starting up here has their partner in crime here inside the top 10 and within close proximity, so that could definitely make things interesting here during this race. And of course, Bryce Egan in the 28 starting on the pole position there for TP Motorsports, looking pretty quickly, as both Bryce Egan and Eric Monaco enter this race at 1-2 in the point standings, with Monaco with the points lead. Be really interesting to watch these two and everybody else here in this one. And Daniel, you were in the booth with me for the last race out at Darlington. You saw how crazy that race was. It was an interesting race, a lot of strategy involved in that one, a lot of shuffling throughout the field, and in the end it was Brian Webb for Mahindra Motorsports going to victory lane. He starts in the top 10 here this time out as well, along with his teammate Andrew Miller. But it's definitely going to be an interesting race regardless here from Michigan, and like I mentioned, I think we're really starting to see these ratings start to come to fruition. So what are you potentially expecting from some of these guys here today around the Michigan International Speedway, and who are you potentially expecting to maybe see up front here in this one?
Well, as the season goes on, we're going to see those ratings come into effect. You're going to see some drivers get really, have a, top 5 streak, top 10 streak, like you typically do in the Cup Series sometimes. but also you're going to see a lot of movement going around, probably different lanes as well at this track, but you're also going to be going up to nearly 200 miles an hour in the turn 1. So usually for me, I see passing in turns 1 and 2, going down the back straightaway, but it's going to be an interesting race, and I think I'm going to have Roberto Crown Jr. staying up there in the top 5 this weekend.
Definitely going to be interesting to see how it all plays out here from Michigan. Like you mentioned, a very fast and very wild racetrack. Might see a lot of 3 and potentially 4 wide here around this racetrack, and that'd be interesting to see how it all plays out. Talking about that 01 of Roberto Crown Jr. starting on the outside pole here this time around for Michigan. Had pace at Darlington and unfortunately got swept up in a pretty bad pit cycle. Unfortunately, did not quite work out for him, but he definitely has some pace under the hood of that 01 Stover Motorsports machine. Have to see what he can do this time around. But really quickly, before we head into things here from Michigan, taking a quick look here at your point standings coming into the third race here of the 2025 Turkey Hill Truck Series season. Of course, like I mentioned, it's Eric Monaco for Tanner Parton's team there on the top of the board, just with a 1-point lead, though, to his teammate and pole sitter Bryce Egan. Third in points coming in is your Darlington winner, Brian Webb, coming in just 4 points behind. Fourth is Skip Silver there for Parker Davis, coming in only 7 points behind. Excuse me. Fifth in points is a 19 of Igor Barreto there for Big Motorsports, coming in only 8 points behind. Sixth is LJ Semedo, coming in 9 points back. Seventh is Avery Alford. They're only 10 points behind. We got a tie for 8th between Philip Torres and your Daytona winner David Dixon, both coming in 12 points behind. And Blaine Keys has entered the top 10 in points. He's only 15 points back from the points lead. Have to see what Blaine can do here in this one. Like I said, your reigning champion here of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. He's had a solid start to the season, and I'd say as these ratings keep developing, that one car might just be getting faster and faster. So we'll have to see what he can do in this one. Has a good starting position, though, just right outside of the top 10. But we'll just have to wait and see what all plays out here after 32 laps around the Michigan International Speedway. But I think that's just enough yapping from me. I think it's about time we get these guys rolling here from the Michigan International Speedway. And as they do, we'll take a quick look here through your starting lineup here for the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway. Starting on the pole position, of course, it's the number 28 of Bryce Egan, starting alongside the 01 of Roberto Crown Jr. Row 2, we got the 88 of Eric Monaco starting alongside the number 10 Broke Boys Garage Machine of Logan Williams. Row 3, it's the 6 of Nicholas Samadillo starting alongside the 60 of Brian Webb, your Darlington winner. Row number 4, we have the 06 of Skip Silver starting alongside the 42 of Andrew Miller, and rounding out your top 10, we have the 27 of Avery Alford starting alongside the 11 of Andrew Williams. So I remember having a great run in this race last season. I can see if he can get some redemption and get the win this time around. Okay, race info and everything will be on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. But Matt and Daniel, I gotta ask you both, who is your all's picks to go to victory lane here from the PC Rich Guitars 250 here from Michigan?
Should I go bold here? You know, I'll just take a safe pick here. I'm going to take the pole sitter, Bryce Egan, having a heck of a week, and I think he's going to have a shot here to cap it off with a win here today.
Well, for my pick, I'm going to have to go again with the 01 of Roberto Crown Jr. starting second on the front row.
See what Egan and Crown can do in this one. Both have had strong starts to the season, both starting up here on the front row. To see what they can do from those starting positions. But here we go, coming off of turn number 4. The pace truck's going to make the left-hand turn onto the pit lane. And it's going to be Bryce Egan, and Roberto Crown Jr. is going to lead us down the front stretch to the green flag. We're green flag racing here in the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway. Seeing a lot of 2 It's 2 and 3 wide coming down the front straightaway here. Bryce Egan gonna lead the opening lap here from Michigan. Almost, we do have 4 wide.
Oh my
Going into
goodness.
turn number 1, Thomas Truxell looking to try to go to the middle there, and that's 67 for Heartland Enterprises. Bryce Egan went way up the track there in turn number 1. Here comes the 6 of Nicholas Samadio, looking to try and close in that 6 machine. Eric Monaco in the 88 there following in tow. A lot of shuffling already going on here in the early stage of this race. Thomas Truxell in the 67 is on the move. He's now here inside of the top 10, I believe. And for the race lead, Nicholas Samadio trying to take a peek here to the inside of Bryce Egan for the race lead. And this run down into turn number 1, as always, usually very interesting as they like to fan out 3, 4 wide. Oh, Blaine Keys makes contact with Barretto. David Dixon's way up the track, and around goes Keys!
There we go.
Down the back straightaway, Rakowski's around, Barretto's in it, and we're crashing big time on the backstretch. Kochemer's around. Barretto's involved. Tyler Jericho, Jeffrey Finguy, Jesse Turner, Zachary Fitzwater. Jack Haas in the 93, I think, has some damage as well. Matthew Hubert, Aaron Abel, Matthew Burnett. Bruno Diacomo, your race winner here in 2023. And Blaine Keys in the number 1. Just got trapped at the wrong place at the wrong time. And we are under caution here at Michigan for a big wreck here down the backstretch.
I mean,
you gotta know when to back out of that though. If you're Blaine, I mean, definitely kind of wrong getting trapped there, but that's an experienced driver, and you gotta know when, like, you just can't be in a spot, and that was a situation. I think he's gonna want back there, and definitely would have been better off, backing out of it. Had a fast enough truck anyway that he could have just, he would have made those places up going down the road. But we have some, he's still going. He doesn't look that damaged from my eyes. So, we'll see. And we have some goofy strats going on here early in this race.
Well, also don't forget, the question is, how long could these drivers hold the 3, 4, even maybe 5 wide in their opening laps? I wouldn't have probably done opening laps. I could see it maybe with 2 to go or 1 to go, potentially going 4 or maybe 5 wide. But, these are some new drivers, so they're not used to it as much. But again, how long could they do it for? And it looks like we can only do it for 4 laps.
Unfortunately, maybe look like a little bit of over-aggression boiling over there as it's the opening stages of the race, but it's probably the most tightly packed everyone will probably be together, so the best spot to make up ground early on in the race. And unfortunately, just too many drivers trying to fill the same amount of real estate, and it boiled over there, and a big crash down the back straightaway. I guess lucky for you, Matt, is that Blaine in the 1 is still going, and it doesn't look like the truck is too heavily damaged. That doesn't look like a lot of trucks are too heavily damaged, except for the 93 of Jack Haas. Had a pretty big buckle there on the front end and is going to call it a day. So a tough break there for Jack Haas, but it looks like everybody else is still on the racetrack. Matthew Burnett might have also had a bit of hood damage there, and they've just decided to rip the front end off that car. A couple of trucks here with damage after an early yellow here from Michigan. We thought this race could potentially get crazy, and we just saw it all unfold right there on just in the early stages of this race. But really quickly go back and take a look at what brought out our first caution of the day here at the Michigan International Speedway, and we'll get you all back to the restart here from the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway. Taking a look here, what brought out our first caution of the day here in Michigan. David Dixon, the 58, going to go really wide, and Igor Barretto, Blaine Keys going to get into it. And we're going to be 5 wide here coming off of turn number 2. And unfortunately, just couldn't really work. And you're going to see Blaine Keys and Igor Barretto going to get into it here out of the corner. And Blaine going to get spun around off the bumper of the 19. Going to make a bit of contact there with his teammate Rogel Dorn and Joe Rutkowski. Igor Barretto are also going to get sent around. Barretto gets ping-ponged back up the track into Jeffrey Finguy. Jack Haas in the 93. Just had nowhere to go. Laura Chung barely is going to squeeze by. Emily DiBenetti there picked up a little bit of damage. Novak Shred also just squeezed by in the 14. Leonard Kochmer in the 39. Unfortunately, not so lucky. And the track pretty much about blocked her down the back straightaway as Tyler Jericho, Duncan Ward, Matthew Hubert, Zachary Fitzwater, Jesse Turner just absolutely nowhere to go. As this all unfolded here down the back straightaway here from the Michigan International Speedway. We usually see quite crazy racing here from Michigan, and unfortunately sometimes patience can run a little bit dry, and if you get too many people going for the same real estate, boil over sometimes. Unfortunately, a lot of drivers can just wind up in the wrong place at the wrong time. So unfortunate break for everybody involved here in this one, but that's just sometimes the way the cookie crumbles, especially here around the Michigan International Speedway. But really quickly, we'll get you all one more replay at full speed, and we'll get you all back to the restart here from the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway.
Well, David Dixon put a huge slide there. I mean, I don't really know if Keys and Barretto... I mean, one of Keys or Barretto's got to give there. You just can't take it 4.5, 5 wide here anywhere we go. Tough racing there. These guys, that's the danger of this racetrack, is people are willing to step it over the edge because there is so much to gain here, but when it goes wrong in spectacular fashion, and we have piled up a bunch of trucks here early on in this race.
Definitely, I think you put it the best there, and unfortunately a lot of trucks gonna receive damage after that one. Of course, Jack Haas, the 93 we saw, unfortunately taking his truck to the garage with quite a lot of damage there to that 93 truck. So unfortunately, really tough break there for him. It's going to take him out of the race. But everybody else will still be in the race. Have to see how it all shakes up, though, on the restart here from the BC Rich Guitars 250. We'll have to see how things go here from Michigan. We'll just have to wait and see. Welcome back here to the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway, wrapping up our first caution of the afternoon for a multi-car crash down the back straightaway involving quite a few cars. Luckily, it looks like just about everybody was able to stay in the race except for the 93 of Jack Haas, who has taken his car to the garage there and will finish in the 36th position there. So a tough break for Haas and Evans Ross Racing, who both cars were involved in that accident. But everybody else still going, and at least with the exception of Burnett, who had the hood torn off of his car, everybody looks all right. Coming back to the restart here on lap number 8, Bryce Egan in the 28 is going to be your race leader. Nicholas Samadillo is second. Roberto Crown Jr. is third. Brian Webb is fourth. Eric Monaco is fifth. Thomas Troxel in sixth. Stapleton seventh. Avery Alford eighth. Skep Silver ninth. And Rogel Dorn rounds out your top 10 as we're back. Green flag racing here in the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway.
Now let's see who's going to jump out of line first on this restart. See who's going to lead that inside line. Looks like the 60 truck, the Dr. Pepper Toyota Tundra.
And Nicholas Samadillo here in second. I mean, you know, we talked a lot on the broadcast this year about some of his struggles in the Cup Series, but if not for Blaine Keys' domination at Velocistart, I mean, he has made the Truck Series his playground in the past 20-odd races or so, and has been absolutely fantastic. And for the lead here for PDE, it is a pair of trucks going out of here, and Brian Webb's going to get some big-time slipstream with the Mahindra trucks to close in.
Samadillo and the Parker Davis Enterprises number 6 now out into the race lead. Brian Webb slips into third. How about Thomas Troxel in the 67 up here battling for a spot here inside the top 5? Had his fair share of struggles last race out at Darlington, where he didn't qualify the best and kind of struggled in traffic just about all race long, but now showing his strength here at Michigan is back for the race lead. Bryce Egan in the 28 going to take it back from Nicholas Samadillo. Brian Webb in the 60 now to the inside as Egan slips up the racetrack through 1 and 2 trucks, leaving looking low. We might go 3 wide for the leader down the backstretch. See if Troxel can get enough momentum there on the inside to stay to the inside of these guys. He might have to check up a bit here going into 3 and 4. It looks like he's going to do just that. Nicholas Amadeo trying to cut low as Webb gets to the inside of Bryce Egan. Side-by-side Stiller down the front straightaway. Webb's going to get it at the line, but Egan has the push from Samadeo and Nathan Stapleton down the front stretch. Staying side-by-side here into turn number 1. Samadeo to the inside of Bryce Egan as he slips up the racetrack. Troxel going to get back down to the inside. Some great racing up here at the front of the field, but Brian Webb in the 60 for Mahindra Motorsports looking to lead the way and looking to get another win there for that team. Mahindra Motorsports and looking for 2 in a row here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series season, but slips wide in 3 and 4, and back to the inside goes the 6 of Nicholas Samadeo.
And you gotta wonder for the 6 of Samadeo, even though he's had his struggles in the Cup Series, now coming down to the Truck Series, playing, winning basically almost in the Truck Series, you gotta wonder, is this a boost of
motivation? Nearly ran Brian Webb out of room.
Is this got a boost some motivation or confidence for Samadeo, even though he's been struggling in Cup?
I mean, a guy who I think is getting a big shot in the arm so far through a couple of truck races has been Thomas Troxel. Didn't have a bad Cup season, but obviously a lot of things didn't go his way. But just a couple races in here for the brand new team, the 67 truck from Heartland Enterprises, and show good. Oh, we got another Velocity truck in a full line. We're gonna get through.
Davenport and Williams made contact down the backstretch.
Look at Roberto Crown Jr. on that inside that made that 4 wide there.
These guys are going absolutely insane here from Michigan. Egan takes the lead back, slips up the racetrack. Nathan Stapleton's now up into second. Troxel's fighting for third. How about Isaac Nichols in the 05? Up here now inside the top 10. LJ Semeto's up here as well. Ludovic Charrette's up here as well in the 14. Egan goes way up the track in 1 and 2. Here comes Nathan Stapleton down to the inside.
You gotta be careful when you slide up the track there. Yes, you're not gonna have as much grip, but remember there are truck drivers up there, so if you clip in front of their nose, you're gonna go around.
Brian Webb
Nathan
through
Stapleton.
the middle.
Wow.
Ooh, Nathan Stapleton on the power run for Triad Racing. I mean, they're a truck power team to watch for. So many strong teams. One thing we got to talk, the truck lineup of teams. I think sometimes we've talked about, is the truck lineup the deepest as far as drivers, but the driver and team combinations this year are absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Brian Webb is throwing it all on the line here, and Ludovic Charrette won the championship with Beacon Quantum Racing, came to Velocity, had a good year, but she is back at Beacon Quantum Racing, and that 14 is looking strong here early on in the going. These are some very fast trucks up here.
Been absolutely insane racing up here at the front of the field, and just getting to halfway here at Michigan. Nathan Stapleton holds the lead, slips up in 1 and 2. We've seen that plenty of times here so far this race. Bryce Egan looking to take advantage and get back up to the race lead. Isaac Nichols is now up into the 3rd position. Maybe even looking to take second as Stapleton had to get out of the gas with getting out of the groove there. And Isaac Nichols will now move into 2nd, and you were talking about Ludovic Charrette, of course, your 2023 Truck Series champion, back in the wheelhouse with Beacon Quantum Racing and looking to potentially replicate that 2023 championship run, and a great run going here for Ludovic Charrette, of course, your reigning winner of this race with Team Velocity last season. We're going to go back-to-back here in the BC Rich Guitars 250 for the lead, though. Here comes Isaac Nichols. Avery Alford's in the wall off of turn number 2. That's going to be a big loss of momentum there for the 27, and LJ Semedo, Tyler Jericho there on the outside don't have anywhere to go. But up front here, Isaac Nichols in the 05 is going to take the race lead away there for Dracoan. Ludovic Charrette looking to take 2nd. We have pretty big pack of cars here battling for the race lead, pretty much about the entire top 10. Carson Miller in the 57 there for Andrews Racing has now entered the top 10 with Duncan Ward in the 24. Looking to try and take it away, slips up the racetrack and puts Miller in the wall, and around they go. LJ Semeto's going to get a piece of it as well. David Dixon looking to take evasive maneuvers.
Whoa!
And they're going to
Oh.
split them down the back
Joe,
straightaway. Joe Rutkowski
Yo.
and Blaine Keys are going to split them. And our second caution of the race comes out here on lap number 18 as Carson Miller and your 2025 Wawa Cup Series champion are going to get into it on the backstretch.
Wow.
Well, hello. Hello, Isaac Nichols. Hello, Ludovic Charette. And I think we had all those trucks pit on, what, lap 4 or whatever?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have to pit again. So as far as the strategic game of did that work for any of those trucks? I mean, it did backfire, but...
I was trying to set the top 10.
We have lost. 42 is working all right, but DPJ has lost connection. F's in the chat. Goodness, what a show this has been so far at the start of this field.
It has been absolutely wild here so far from Michigan, and we are going to get pit stops here on lap number 19. For the guys that did not come down there in the caution, they were probably almost about to come down the pit lane anyway. They probably saved a little bit under that first caution, but this is just about perfect timing for all the guys that ended up staying out, as everybody looks like they're going to come down here on lap number 19, as they will be able to make it to the end from here. Following along with the 05 Isaac Nichols, who came into the pits your race leader. Imagine it'll probably be 4 tires and fuel for everybody. No.
Oh,
Andrew Williams
not
and
at
Nathan
all.
Stapleton gonna roll the dice. Eric Monaco, Brian Webb, also maybe with a bit of some strategy game there. Still gonna shake up the lineup just a little bit. How about Bruno Diacomo in the 5 gonna enter the top 10 here? Diacomo, your race winner at this racetrack from 2023. Looking to make some headway there for Jacoan Racing Enterprises as well. But Andrew Williams, maybe with a bit of strategy on the pit lane, going to take the race lead. We get here to this restart. Stapleton up to second. Eric Monaco up to third. Looking to try and hold on to his points lead.
Well, this race is very entertaining.
Has been a very fun race here so far from Michigan. And it'll probably be around 10 laps to go when we get to the restart. But really quickly, before we get there, we'll take a quick look at what brought out our second caution of the afternoon, and we'll get you all back to the restart here from the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway. Once again, coming off a 2 and down the back straightaway here is going to be our trouble spot, as taking a look here at Carson Miller. Gonna get into it here with the 24 of Duncan Ward, both trying to kind of go for the same real estate here. And gonna result in them kind of coming together, and Ward is gonna get locked with the 57, going to end up with both cars spinning into the outside wall. And both gonna spin around here down the back straightaway. Luckily, a lot of drivers able to take evasive maneuvers, but unfortunately some ended up picking a little bit of damage in that row with Dornan 2. Just barely got a piece of it. And LJ Semedo with a pretty good knock there to the front end. And unfortunately must have damaged something probably in the front end of that car. Maybe the radiator or something. But that's going to take the 73 out of the race. A really tough break there for LJ Semedo, as well as Carson Miller and Duncan Ward. Going to put him behind the 8 ball here as we head into the potential final 10 laps here from the BC Rich Guitars 250 here at Michigan. Yeah, fortunately just a tough break there for them, and kind of like we saw in the first wreck, sometimes that's just the way things go here at Michigan. But we'll have to see how these final 10 laps will go here from Michigan. It's going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out. We'll just have to wait and see. But really quickly, we'll get you all one more replay here at full speed, and we'll get back to the racing action here with 10 laps to go here from the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway.
Well, Cup champ Skip Silver, Carson Miller. A little bit of a pinch job by the 24. tough race in there. You know, they're going for it. You know, they've got positions to battle here. Joe Rutkowski and Blaine Keys just went flying through there. Thank goodness they didn't hit anything, but dedication to go through two guys sitting there like that. And we are going to get a late race dash to the finish. And if anything we have seen so far, hold on to your horses, ladies and gentlemen, because this is about to get very scary here in Michigan.
Absolutely. Just going to have 10 laps to go here on the restart. Final 10 laps. Final restart, potentially barring a caution flag. We'll just have to wait and see, though, how it all plays out here. Who will nab the victory here from the Michigan International Speedway? But after maybe a bit of strategy on the pit lane, it's going to be the 11 of Andrew Williams, who's going to lead us back to the green flag. Will he hold on? We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out here on the restart from the BC Rich Guitars 250 at the Michigan International Speedway. And we're back here from the BC Rich Guitars 250 here from the Michigan International Speedway, wrapping up our second caution of the race for Carson Miller and Duncan Ward going around down the back straightaway. Both cars still in the race, but unfortunately LJ Semedo, who got caught up in that, got a piece of damage, is going to take his car to the garage there in the 73, so tough break there for him. But still got 34 cars here on the racetrack and going to be restarting here with exactly 10 laps to go. So it is crunch time here from Michigan, and it's Andrew Williams in the 11 for Brook Boys Garage out in front. Stapleton is second, Monaco third, Brian Webb is fourth, Nichols in fifth, Troxel sixth, Charette seventh, Bruno Diacomo is eighth, Sam Adio ninth, and Bryce Egan rounding out your top 10. We got a strong top 10 here heading to this restart here with 10 laps to go here at the Michigan International Speedway. Andrew Williams leads the field back to green here from the BC Rich Guitars 250, and a great jump there from that Brook Boys Garage Ford.
Yeah, you got the run away here on the start, but we've seen all race long, and nobody has been able to pull away. Granted, we haven't had a run long enough for anybody to pull away, so we'll see what this 11 has here. But you can see Stapleton, Monaco, Webb, Nichols, they're all queuing up, and they're all going to take their shot here. Why are we taking... Oh, my...
no, Williams has to pit again!
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
A problem, a penalty, something wrong with the 11, and Williams has to come back down the pit lane.
What a heartbreak.
And an absolute heartbreaker for Andrew Williams, but Eric Monaco looking to take advantage and take the race lead as they're nearly 4 wide behind him.
And don't forget, these drivers can draft, catch the air off the other car going down the front straightaway, possibly the back as well. So this is why you're seeing these runs happen.
Nathan Stapleton looking to go around the outside and clear Brian Webb. Eric Monaco went a bit wide there through 3 and 4. Isaac Nichols is still up here in the mix. Skip Silver's now back here inside the top 10, looking to go 4 wide here into turn number 1.
Oh, no.
Oh, you can't do that.
You can't do
This
that.
could maybe get a bit sketchy. Stapleton's to the inside of Monaco for the lead.
Hold it.
A bit of a squeeze there. David Dixon in the wall down the back straightaway. Andrew Williams looking to merge back on into the field. Going to do it right behind this pack of cars. That's Stapleton in the 61. Now your race leader, Monaco, with a big send on the outside. He's in the wall off of turn 4.
I mean, Eric Monaco's throwing it all on the line, but Nathan Stapleton, I don't know how many of the, I assuming most of the viewers watch DCS. The guy to beat this year in DCS, or the guy who's on a tour de force in Wawa Cup Series, Nathan Stapleton, amazing owner, but good gracious, he has been putting on a driving clinic the past year. But here we go, Eric Monaco, and Brian Webb is looking to win back-to-back races here. That's not a guy I think we thought coming into the season could do that, but he has stepped up here big time to start the Turkey Hill Truck Series season. But it's 2 other guys, Nichols and Sam Adio, couple of Cup veterans here, and Ludovic Charette's now in this draft with just 6 laps to go here. Anybody's game could win this here.
Brian Webb, like you mentioned, going for 2 in a row, but they're both way up the racetrack. Banging doors off in turn number 4. Isaac Nichols looking to get down to the inside. Crown Jr. and Miller's back up here. In the 01 and the 42, we're 3 wide for the lead. Entering 3 and 4, Nichols has to check up on the inside. Ooh, Samadillo with a squeeze there in the middle. They're 4 wide behind these guys. But Brian Webb in the 60 gonna lead at the stripe, looking to get a second win in a row for Mahindra Motorsports back into turns 1 and 2. Carson Miller in the 57 is off the pace. We're gonna have some lap traffic in the mix.
Look at Samadillo.
Ooh,
on the
boy.
inside.
I credit Carson Miller. He held it right up against the wall. I mean, he held him up a little bit, but he didn't break that pack up. So shout out Carson Miller. But here comes Nicholas Samadillo. Has only one win. I think he's only got, the one IndyCar race on the channel this year that he's won. He wants to go back to victory lane desperately, but so does Monaco. And Brian Webb wants to. Brian Webb, if he can win here today, that is a statement for him. But here comes
Silver.
Whoa! Whoa!
And way up the track
goodness.
went Webb. Here comes Monaco and Samadillo. And
Guys,
Isaac
we got like a
Nichols.
couple laps to go.
We're going to get 3 laps to go at the stripe. We have about, 15 trucks here in the lead draft who can potentially
Here
win
comes
this race in
Shreds.
Michigan.
I can't. This is too great. Don't count out the 6.
Samadillo and Monaco clear out front.
There
Samadillo
he goes.
trying to take a peek to the inside through turns 1 and 2. They're still going crazy back here, and if we got a caution, that would be the race. But here comes
wow.
Skip Silver and the Parker Davis Enterprises
Where did he
06,
come
looking to
from?
make it a 1-2 for Max Davis. Webb way
I
up
think-
the racetrack.
Oh, wow.
Keeps it off the wall.
Samadillo leading.
With 2 to go, it's the 2 Parker Davis Enterprises cars looking to fight it out.
I think they were the first pair of teammates in Cup no, they weren't. I thought they were. But they won in Cup. Skip Silver to the lead here, looking for his first career win here. And oh my goodness, what a story this would be. He's going to have to fight Monaco Nichols, who drives for PDE. And Cup, could Nichols upset PDE, his Cup team here in the Truck Series?
Oh, boy.
They're
Oh.
bidding! They're bidding!
Oh.
Some cars couldn't make it to the end, and it's Samadillo looking to take the white. Here comes Stapleton to the inside.
They're gonna be
Isaac
side by
Nichols is
side in
also
the
in
turn
this
1.
fight as well, looking to make it 3 wide, going into 1 and 2.
3 wide,
Through
there
the
it
middle
is.
goes Isaac Nichols.
Slides up the track. He's clear of the 6.
David Dixon in the 58 had to pit a lap earlier. He couldn't make it. He might throw a wrench into things, but Isaac Nichols through the middle, looking to hang
here
on to
comes
it through
the
3 and
Roberto
4.
Brown
Stapleton
Jr.
trying to drive it in on the inside. Nichols goes
Where
up
about
the
the
racetrack,
cameras?
but it
Oh.
doesn't look like Stapleton's gonna get there. Isaac Nichols is going to win a spectacle here in Michigan.
Unbelievable! Oh my goodness!
And how about Roberto Crown Jr. getting a top 3?
Oh my goodness!
I have no words.
I don't know what I
We
just
have a
watched.
doubleheader here for trucks because I want to see another Michigan race now.
Yeah, we should. You know what? I mean, let's just run 17 races, but it's Michigan International. Oh my good
That was great.
gracious!
Different lines, 3 wide racing.
What a race here from
And
Michigan. What a run there in the final 10 laps. And at the end, Isaac Nichols with a similar move that we saw Daniel Paulus Jr. pull in the Wawa Cup Series race here at the start of the year. He ends up pulling off the win there for himself and Dracoan Racing Enterprises. Oh my goodness.
I don't know what to say. I'm speechless.
I mean, we saw the. Did he just like cut a tire down and go on the? We saw the Cup race, and I think we were all speechless after seeing the finish to the Cup race this year. I mean,
Let's just ask
the Cup race had nothing on. The Cup race had nothing on what I just watched. My goodness, that was unbelievable drive by Isaac Nichols to put. I mean, Jerkoen Racing Enterprises, who went like what, a year and a half without seeing Victory Lane, and they're going to go to Victory Lane twice in a month here in 2 different series. That was incredible. What a drive from Nichols. What an effort by Stapleton. What a drive by Roberto Crown Jr. to get P3. Sam Dio, Brian Webb looks like a championship contender. I mean, the top 14 trucks were within 2 seconds coming to the line. That was absolutely incredible.
We got 2 words that we often use to describe something like that. That was absolute cinema. Here from the Michigan International Speedway. And just what a crazy race that was. And Isaac Nichols getting Jerkoen Racing Enterprises' second win, I believe, here of the year here on the channel. And what a way to do it, too. Like I said, that final 10 laps might honestly just go down in history. They were swapping the lead back and forth, and just that move through the middle there on the white flag. It's Isaac Nichols, the race win here in the BC Rich Guitars 250. But taking a quick look here through your official finishing order, Isaac Nichols gets the win here from Michigan. Nathan Stapleton, still with a great run, comes home in second. Roberto Crown Jr. comes home in third. Nicholas Samadio going to bring it home there in fourth. Brian Webb is going to round out your top 5, so I'd definitely watch out for that 60 machine as this year goes along. They have shown a lot of speed over there at Mahindra Motorsports. Looking further on down, you got Thomas Troxel bring it home in 6th. A great run there for the Heartland Enterprises racing machine. Bryce Egan brings it home in 7th. Laura Chung comes home in 8th. Ludovic Charette in 9th. And Aaron Abel rounds out your top 10 in the Renegade Gutierrez machine. Taking a look through the field here, a couple cars had to come down the pit lane. I'd say Emily De Benedetti there, Matthew Burnett, Igor Barreto, Leonard Kochmer, Skep Silver, Andrew Miller, Eric Monaco, Alfred Dixon, Duncan Ward probably all had to come down the pit lane. Andrew Williams. Such a tough break there for him. Rogel Dorn might have had an issue there in the 2. Ends up coming home a lap down. Jeffrey Finguy, Carson Miller there in the 57. Was off the pace there after the accident with Duncan Ward. And then LJ Simano and Jack Haas out of this race, coming home 35th and 36th respectively. Just what an absolute spectacle that was here from the Michigan International Speedway. And at the end, Isaac Nichols is going to bring it home for Jerkoen Racing Enterprises. And quite the style as well. But I'll ask you both, Matt, Daniel, final thoughts about today's race. What'd you think about today's race here from the Michigan International Speedway? And what are y'all looking forward to? What are your expectations here as we head into the rest of the season?
Well, all I'm going to say is Michigan performed very well. We saw different lanes. We saw sliding around. We saw some crashes, which were expected at Michigan. But overall, great performance by all these truck drivers, especially Isaac Nichols getting the win here at Michigan. But, this is just, again, the 3rd race of the season. It's just the beginning for the Truck Series campaign. So I think it's going to ramp up as these ratings keep going. And I think they're going to continue to put on great performances.
Yeah, Michigan almost didn't make it on the truck schedule this year. We were supposed to go to Gateway.
I think it will next year.
I think that'll go down as tracks. If you're writing in the book of like what tracks will never get swapped off of any calendar on this on the channel, Michigan #1. No, that was incredible. I've called a lot of truck races in the past 2 years or whatever. That had to have been the best truck race I've gotten a call. Shout out to all these guys putting on a show. I will say there is definitely, there's a lot of surprise faces, but there are definitely, you're already 3 races in, the ratings are going to ramp up, but you can definitely see, 60, 67, 61, 05, 14. There are some heavy hitters that are already coming to play, and it's going to be quite fun to watch as the rest of the season unfolds.
Absolutely. It is going to be awesome to see all these ratings develop, and still waiting on them to fully come into play. Definitely seeing some strong faces already emerging. That's what makes stuff like this just so much fun, and cannot wait to see how the rest of the season will play out. But I'll definitely tell you what, after a race like that, the other races definitely have some competition to hold up to, as this race here from Michigan is definitely going to be hard to beat. But what a fantastic showing here in the BC Rich Guitars 250. In the end, Isaac Nichols and your Cohen Racing Enterprises going to be going to victory lane here today after everything is said and done. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Of course, next time out in Turkey Hill Truck Series ought to be an interesting one as well. We're heading to the Bristol Motor Speedway. Last great Coliseum for the Rocky Ridge Trucks 250. That race will be going up on Friday night, September the 12th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be going night racing at the Bristol Motor Speedway, so that one definitely ought to be a lot of fun. Definitely hope to see you all there on the Friday night. But once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. A huge thank you to Matt Tuck and Daniel Paul Jr. for joining me alongside here in the booth. And I will see you all Friday night from the Bristol Motor Speedway, the Rocky Ridge Trucks 250. Friday, September 12th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But until then, you all take care and have a good one. Here's your point standings after race number 3 of the 2025 Turkey Hill Truck Series season.